watching. You are watching.
You're watching. You guys are watching.
You're watching Soulful Discussion.
So hi, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great. And so, how did our paths cross right now? How did we meet?
So we're just at El Segundo Beach. I'm actually just visiting with my boyfriend. I'm from New Jersey.
Oh,
so
sweet.
yeah, so we just decided to stop by this beach for the morning, get some sun, and yeah, he just approached me.
Nice. And her boyfriend approved this, so it was really cool. I'm glad that he did that. So thanks again, boyfriend. Appreciate you. And what did I approach you about? What's the interview going to be about?
So from what I understand, it's about mental health and reflexology.
And one other.
And feet.
There you go. And so, in terms of the mental health, is there any subjects that you follow, you research, anything like that? Anything you know about?
Honestly, I feel super privileged. I had really great upbringing. I've had great mental health, so I'm not too well versed in it. But
Okay.
Obviously, I have some friends that like open up to me about certain things. So yeah.
So it'll be interesting because the information I'll share with you, hopefully that'll be helpful, or maybe you can pass that information on to your friends.
Yeah.
What about the reflexology? Are you familiar with that?
Not at all, actually. Yeah.
Sweet. So that'll be really great because you'll get a lot of great information from there.
Cool.
So let's jump into these questions, okay?
All right.
What's something that you like that other people might find to be weird? And a hobby or something like that?
Okay, yeah. So I actually am a figure skater. I've been figure skating since I was 2.5 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I would say that's a hobby. It's kind of a passion of mine.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Has anyone ever made you feel weird about your body or a body part in general?
Definitely. So in figure skating, obviously, not only are you marked on your physical performance, but also your physique and how artistic you are and what you look like at times. So that's definitely a part of the sport that I've experienced.
Okay. Is that something you would say you're still dealing with on a day-to-day basis, or do you more have like control over it now?
Over what do you mean by
Over
that?
like that feeling that you get from like other people like maybe judging you on that or something?
Yeah, I think growing up, I did this when I was 2.5, so I didn't really obviously put much thought into it
exactly.
then. So it was always something that I thought was normal and that everyone experienced. And only when I got older did I realize that it might not be the best aspect of the sport. So definitely as I got older, I was more conscious of it, but not when I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you say that, like I said, you're dealing with it a lot better. How did you get to that point? Like, what were like some steps that maybe you took or something like that?
Yeah. So honestly, when I got to university, I just graduated McGill University.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I was on the skating team there, and when I started talking to my peers and my teammates, I realized their perspectives and that the competitive environment that I grew up in didn't really discuss that part of the sport as much, but when I got to university, I started understanding people's experiences and how it may have affected me subconsciously. So yeah, I would say when I got to university is when I really became conscious of the issue.
I see. Okay, cool. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, right, and it doesn't have to be physical, what would it be?
I would love to say yes more to things. So actually, I was going to say no to you.
Well, you said yes, so maybe that's a step in the right direction, right?
Exactly. So doing this road trip, I definitely wanted to be open to new experiences and try to say yes to as many things as possible. So this is a great step for me. So thank you for asking me.
And as a matter of fact, the mental health we're going to talk about today, that subject could be helpful for you.
Awesome.
Like, there's some great information in there for that.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
My feet?
Yep.
So actually, it's funny that you asked. Like, as a figure skater, I was always cramming my feet into small boots, and I think it kind of maybe like stagnated some of my growth.
Okay.
So I have really small feet. I have 6.5 size feet.
Okay.
So I always thought they were very petite.
Okay.
But other than that, my feet are my feet. They get me from point A to point B.
So you don't really think too much about them?
No, not particularly. I guess like when I'm picking up my heels, I'm a little conscious.
You think more about it.
But not my day-to-day, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever received any compliments on your feet?
No, I've usually only received like, wow, you have really small feet. Like, it
Okay.
looks like you wear kid-size shoes.
So maybe during when this interview airs, maybe you'll get some compliments and maybe that'll be great for you.
Yeah,
okay?
thank you.
How would you feel if you did receive a compliment? Let's say from someone in passing, a man or a woman. What would your thoughts be on that?
Like, particularly on my feet?
On your feet.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't think much of it. I'd probably just say thank you. I mean, beauty comes in all different shapes, forms, and sizes.
Absolutely.
So feet can be beautiful too, I guess.
So now let me ask you this. Is there a difference in the feeling between like a man giving you a compliment and a woman? Do you feel differently about them?
I mean...
And not just about feet, but I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit different. Obviously, I mean, I'm interested in men. Like, I have a boyfriend, so when a man gives me a compliment, I obviously think about it in a different way. But I think since being in a relationship, I'm just more open-minded to it, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, thank you, and that's it.
And so the reason why I asked about like the difference, so I interviewed someone before. She told me that a lot of times women from like a young age are taught to like kind of be in competition with each other, kind of like dislike other women, and so a lot of times through society, sometimes you guys can have like uncomfortable feelings about one another. So usually when you get older and you receive a compliment from another woman, it seems more sincere because they don't just go around throwing compliments. Whereas men, on the other hand, can sometimes give you a compliment just because they want something in return.
Got it.
You agree with that, or?
You know what? I don't think I would agree with that as much. I think I grew up, obviously figure skating is a lot of more girls do it than guys do, especially, you know, in like a small town, New Jersey. I grew up skating with a lot of girls, and it's a nice community, and we were really supportive of each other, and even though we competed with one another, we were still you know, really kind to each other and tried to be there. So I gave out a lot of compliments in my day, received them, and that was just how it went.
That's great. I mean, to be like that, I think like you're maybe the third person who's told me like that mindset is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Great. What are your thoughts on a significant other, like if you were dating someone who's into feet? I don't know if your boyfriend, he's probably not. You didn't say anything about it, so he's probably not. So what would your thoughts be if you started dating someone who was into feet?
I mean, I've never dated someone that was into feet, so I think at first I'd probably give it some.
Like, you'd have to fill it out.
It'd give me a pause. But I mean, if that's what they like, I guess like I would be open to it. But you know, all part of that saying yes mindset.
If you just started dating someone, when is the appropriate time for you two to bring up like things you're into?
It's a good question. Like, do you mean, you know, in anything?
Just anything. Well, I mean, like, in terms of, like, more, like, in a sexual base, like, what you guys would be into. When's the appropriate time to bring that up? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's important to be really open with one another. And, like, you know, if you're doing something that doesn't feel good or that, you know, you would prefer something else, like, just, you know, I would prefer you just tell me.
But,
I mean, I guess maybe, like, a couple weeks, a month in, whatever, really doesn't matter. I think it's always better to speak your mind. You gotta kind of fill it out, right? You gotta kind of fill each situation out because sometimes it's different, right? Yeah, but I mean, I think like for me, just speaking your mind, really nothing bad can come of it.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Okay. So how often do you get pedicures?
Okay, that's a great question. So pedicures and manicures is something I do with my mom a lot when I come home to New Jersey to visit. It's like a mom and daughter outing.
Sweet.
So I usually visit home maybe like 3-4 times a year.
Okay. So during those times, that's when you do it.
Exactly. But otherwise, you know, as a university student, don't want to break the bank.
So do you do it yourself? You do your own self-care?
I don't. I mean, I obviously just like trim my toenail. I keep it clean, but I don't go get pedicures by myself often. No.
Well, I meant, do you like paint your own toes?
Oh, no.
So you'll just trim them.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know if you're gonna do close up with my feet, but
at some point I will ask you that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. Like mine's like nail polish is chipping off now.
It's okay. How often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops? I know you're from New Jersey, so sometimes you deal with like cold weather there, but
exactly. So I mean, in the summer months, I'll wear open toe shoes most of the time.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously in the winter, I'm wearing boots. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. How often do you go barefoot?
Not very often. I guess like only if we're in the park or at the beach.
Yeah. Well, what about at home? No? Like, are you usually like
home?
a more house shoe or socks type person?
Actually, at home I am barefoot quite often. Yeah.
Okay. So you'd probably say like only during your home hours, like you said, at the beach, at the park.
Yeah.
More of those type of settings. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now can we see what your feet look like up close?
Yeah. I just want to say, last time I got a pedicure it was like April,
it's
so
okay.
my nail polish is shipping off.
It's okay. Let me get you to put them here.
Okay. Both of them.
It's okay. Don't worry about. Yeah, both of them. Let's see.
Go.
And you said you wear a size 6?
6.5.
6.5. Okay.
Yep.
And these are skaters, so she's a skater.
Yes.
And this is what these like. And
so
then
you got a lot
can we see your soles? Can I get you actually if you could sit on that bench and put your soles up here so that we can there you go.
Like that?
Just extend your feet straight out. There we go.
Right.
There we go. So far, how's this experience for you? Like we're going through these questions. We're examining your feet right now.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It's new. It's definitely different. I want to know like where this is coming from.
I'm gonna show you. Trust me.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. I'm open to it. Okay. Like I'm probably, you know, I don't know how many people are gonna see this, but they don't know me personally.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right.
Unless they do. Okay.
Unless they do. Yeah. In which case, I'll explain it to you guys later.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I told you, we're going to talk about that. DBT. Have you ever heard of that? Are you familiar?
No.
Okay. It's dialectical behavioral therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's a study that's for people who suffer from anxiety, depression, people who don't tend to live in the moment. Right.
Mm-hmm.
These are people who like overthink situations. So a situation appears to them, and they like start thinking about what ifs and thinking in hyperbole, things like that. Right.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers.
Okay.
Right. What the therapist would teach you to do is to go out, put yourself in that situation over and over again, keep doing it, and get used to that uncomfortable feeling. Get used to it, right? And then when you start to feel that uncomfortable urge, to try to cope with it and do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in that situation, right? If there's not a threat to your life or to your safety, you should proceed, because you could experience like a good event, good moments, meet new people, things like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because you did say you're trying to get yourself more into like saying yes to things, so like that's a part of it. So maybe sometimes you overthink things sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of people, I'm really lucky. Like I really like to meet new people and hear their stories and make connections. I think growing your network is really important. So I'm always open to meeting new people. Oftentimes when I'm on a plane, I'll try to make small chat, with the person sitting next to me. Obviously, like if they don't want to talk to me, that's cool too. Like if they want your own space, that's cool too. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's definitely, we're social creatures, right?
Absolutely.
So it's nice to talk to people and to be a little more extroverted sometimes.
Absolutely. And so like I said, this is why I started doing it, because a lot of people don't know about that. There's some people who I meet that from this standpoint, they're kind of closed off. And so to share that information with them is always helpful. So let's talk about reflexology. You said you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, no, I'm not at all.
So reflexology is a study of the different pressure points we have in our hands and feet. We have like a lot of like nerve endings and pressure points. These pressure points correlate back to parts of your body. So through massage, acupuncture, things like that, you can alleviate like stress and tensions to certain areas, right?
Cool.
So I don't know, do you ever deal with migraines or anything like that? Or
no,
headaches?
I don't.
Do you ever have trouble sleeping? Okay, if you did, let's say you did, right?
Yeah.
There's a portion of your foot that you can massage. They call these areas zones. Each area has like correlates to something else, right? So you can massage that area and start to, experience some good sleep.
Awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what are your thoughts about that? How do you feel?
I mean, it seems like it could be really helpful if you do suffer from migraines or, poor sleep. I'm really lucky that I do not, but I do like a good massage. So
there's even some, so like for people who deal with like they have intense like period like pains and things like that. There's a portion there that you can massage for that.
Cool.
There's stuff like when you're sick, your lungs to like help clear that. There's all kinds. It's all over the place. So it's a very interesting information. I don't know if you've ever heard of grounding before and earthing.
Yes.
That's a part of it. So like when people have their feet to the earth, like all those pressure points are like being connected by the earth, and they start to feel that energy throughout their whole body. So,
I definitely, in Montreal, that's where I went to school. It obviously is really cold for most of the year, but then it gets really, really beautiful in the spring and in the summer. So we do make an effort to like go out to the park, in your flip-flops, and try to actually like be present in the nice weather and the grass, and it's nice.
Yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah, it makes you feel better.
Exactly. So now that we reached this portion of the interview, how ticklish are you?
Quite ticklish, especially in my feet.
Scale of 1 to 10?
Like an 8 or a 9. Like especially in my feet, I'm very ticklish.
Can we test it on camera and see? To get the reaction.
Man. Honestly, I really don't like being tickled. I know I said I wanted to say yes some more.
10 seconds. Can you deal with like a 10-second type thing, right to left, like just dealing with that? Is that something you can try?
We could try, I guess, a little bit.
We'll see, and we'll see what happens, okay? So let me get you to extend your feet back out towards me, and we will see how this goes. She says she's going to be ticklish. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and where's it more at?
At the top.
At the top? Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's see. And that's okay.
It feels weird there.
And then let's go to the left, okay? And one's usually more.
Oh my God.
Is this the one that's more ticklish? Are you
one.
left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually most people feel more ticklish on their right foot if they're right-handed.
Yeah.
You're feeling it on the left, so that's interesting.
Yeah, so you know what? So like I write with my right hand,
and leave your feet up. We're gonna do one more thing.
Okay, I write with my right hand, but like figure skating and stuff, skills on my left foot.
That's why.
Yeah, we're always easier.
Because usually most people who are right-handed, also they use their right foot a lot, like a lot more pressure. So yeah, usually it's always right. But
Yeah.
years left. Okay, that's
it makes
interesting.
sense though, because when you learn, and if you're a figure skater, when
yeah.
you learn to jump, you take off on your left foot typically. So that's you know, like you're always going that way.
Yeah, so that's why. Okay, that explains a lot. I'm glad you were able to explain that to us. So the last thing I'd like you to do, so can I get you to put your soles up like more?
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to have you do, you're going to do a couple exercises, and I want you to tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort while you're doing it, okay? So first of all, let me get you to bend your toes over and make a fist. Oh, wait, hold it more like this, right? And then just bend just your toes.
Like that.
Yeah. Now, do you feel any type of pain or discomfort for that? Anything?
Maybe just like in my toes and the left foot.
The left foot?
Yeah.
Where do you feel it at?
Like here, like it's just like weirder to curl them.
Okay, relax. Okay, and then put it back up. And let me get you to spread your toes. Tell me if you feel anything.
I feel like my pinky toe just
Is it hard to do? Is it hard to do?
Not for my right pinky toe,
but here it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now relax. Okay, and then put your toes back up one more time. Okay, and then I want you to just wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds and tell me if you feel any type of pain or discomfort.
No pain or discomfort. No.
But you felt it when you were like bending your toes over.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it more of a discomfort or more of a pain? Like which one would you describe it?
It was just a little uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it's
because you're not used to doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get to the end of the interview. Let's wrap it up. So in terms of my approach, first of all, coming up to you, was it a good approach, bad approach? Is there something I can work on?
No, yeah, it was definitely a good approach. Like I said, I'm usually one to think no first before I think yes, but you're really friendly and you made me feel really comfortable. So I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a great time. I'm glad I did this.
Absolutely.
Now I know more.
Yeah, there it is. And so in terms of the interview, right, beginning to end, could you see how everything was going in a line? Did you learn anything new? What were your thoughts about the interview?
Yeah, definitely. I did not really know much about reflexology, so that was really cool. And I didn't really realize how much grounding could help you. I think subconsciously maybe I was doing it, but now I'm more conscious of how it might help. Yeah.
Exactly.
So thank you for sharing with me.
Absolutely. And so the last thing I ask everyone to do who does the interview with me, from a mental health standpoint, right? Maybe a life lesson that you learned along the way, something that you can share with my channel.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So I actually read Mamba Mentality. It's Kobe Bryant's book. You read it?
I love it.
It's so good. So one of the best takeaways from that book for me was just surrounding yourself with your team. You know, like your core people that you know you can lean on. You know they're experts in what they do. And for me, community is really important. And just having that core group of people that I can go to, I think that's really contributed to my positive mental health. So yeah, I would encourage everyone to try to find their team.
Absolutely, try to find that book too, Mamba Mentality.
Yeah,
that's
it's a great book.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you dropping what you're doing to do the interview with me. And thanks to the boyfriend again. Appreciate him. And we hope you both have a great day. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.